Hey guys, welcome to another 2-Bit Talks. I'm here with my brosif 2-Bit Jesus here, and E3 2017 is over. And a lot came out of it, a lot of good, a lot of meh, and a lot of Skyrim. And it begs the question, is all of it worth it? What did we learn from E3 about the state of the gaming industry and people's general excitement about announcements and events like this? Is it relevant? Is E3 still packing a punch? I mean, Kotaku was lit up with stories and stuff, and the internet seemed to be paying attention, but what do you think? I mean, is it something that obviously you paid attention to, but it seemed like people in your sphere were giving a shit?
No, not like they used to. I think, is E3 still relevant? Yes. But is it as relevant as it was 10 years ago? No. I think it's not packing as much of a punch. And when E3 originally was around, it was a trade show for retailers to come in and they'd be like, Nintendo's like, look at this system we got, you got to carry it in your store. And it's gone from that to being where now it's more consumed because they can sell it directly to you. They can advertise directly to you now. And so it's been more, let's open the doors to the consumers and have the consumers come in and look at stuff. And so it's evolved a lot over the years, but now it's at a point where we have other big shows. PlayStation has their own PlayStation experience, which is their own fan fest where they show and announce things. Gamescom, I believe that's in Germany, is another huge venue to release information on games. Not to mention also PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo can directly communicate with you on their hardware. You get Xbox Weekly, or with Nintendo you get Nintendo Direct, and I'm pretty sure PlayStation has a version where they directly go communicate with you. Here's the shit we're coming out with.
Right.
So it's kind of like that. All of that has just been kind of chipping away at E3. And I think, and again, like I was saying, I think I said this in an earlier video, PlayStation definitely, peppers it out through the year. They don't just put everything on the line and show you stuff at E3. They show you some stuff at E3, they show you some stuff at PlayStation Experience, they show you some stuff at Gamescom, and they spread it out. So I think that is why E3 feels like it's not packing as much of a punch anymore, because not all the new news and information of gaming flows from this event. It's flowing from other events.
It's no longer an aggregation point.
Yeah.
It's more like just another blip on the radar of information that's coming out in leaks and press releases in a constant stream. But was there anything that we know this week now that we would not have known if it wasn't for E3?
No, because we knew about the Xbox One X way before. They did do the reveal last year, and that was a big moment. E3 still has its moments, but it's kind of like
any E3 2017 moments that made you think, damn, I'm glad I'm watching it this year.
No, because honestly, I was watching E3 directly from my Xbox, and I watched the E3 Nintendo Direct directly from my Switch, and I went to PlayStation's live stream for PlayStation's E3. Like, I didn't directly go through E3. I didn't need E3 to get this information. I was getting it directly from the companies themselves. Yeah. Like, there's no nothing. Again, like I said, I still think E3 is going to have its moments and still have these huge E3 moments. We're like, oh, I can't believe I saw this at E3, but I think it's almost like the best way I can think of it now is because there's other things out there and all that, it's almost like E3. You're still going to have some moments from E3, but they're kind of like that artist or that athlete in their later years. You still see glimmers of, the past E3. It's like, this reminds me of E3 when I was younger, but it's more aged, it's more rougher, or not rough around the edges, but it's clearly its glory days are behind it.
So it's going to have to either adapt or just continue to lose relevance, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. I think, you keep fast forwarding, or not fast forwarding, but you keep on driving down the road, and the fact that it's just getting easier and easier for all the companies not just Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo, but even the third-party developers to get the information directly to you,
Right.
not have to go to this event.
Or just tweet it.
Yeah, and I mean, and they go to these events to have big shows and to be flashy, and that's why they do it. And I think these events are important, like E3. But then again, there's other events in other places that you have them at too. So that's another thing that chips away at it.
Right.
But I think eventually, down the road, them being able to get the information directly to you, and depending, because the gaming industry is cyclical. You have your up periods where there's a lot going on, then you have your times when it dips down. What if we head into a dip and they're like, we don't want to spend money on E3,
Right.
kind of a thing. What happens one year where most people don't really hold a big conference at E3? What happens to E3 then?
Right.
That kind of thing. It of course, this is just spitballing speculation here.
I've never been to E3. I don't know what it's like. It might be awesome
I've never
to be
been.
there.
It seems like there's a lot of YouTubers I follow who either go there to the show, and it seems like it's a good to be there physically. It's quite an experience, but as far as like watching it at home, it doesn't seem. Honestly, it seems like it might. I could see it easily becoming more of a local, like, as companies, start giving us our information more and more on the devices themselves and through other venues. I could still definitely see E3 surviving as like a local, you know what I mean?
Like seeing it kind of transform.
Like Oxford Fest,
Right, so you kind of transform more into like a Dragon Con or a Comic Con where it's like, hey, it's the Arts and Entertainment Expo and everything like that, and Microsoft's going to have a booth, and it's gaming centric, but come on down, we're going to have corn dogs, and we're going to have really fat people dressed up in very scanty costumes and stuff, and it's going to be a cool experience, and it might, like I said, I've never been, it seems like a cool place to be to interact with those companies directly and see some of their demos and hear some of the news firsthand, but I don't think I missed anything by not being there.
The only thing that really I can think of that E3 still has over any of the other things is hardware reveals.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually, Nintendo did their own reveal this year. I forgot about that. They revealed that was a huge step, because normally hardware reveal is reserved for E3, and Nintendo did it. Of course, it launched in March. I'm pretty sure if Nintendo was launching it later, they would have done it at E3, but so that might also be timing. But still, honestly, like I said, I stand by what I say. I think E3's best days are behind it. Not that it's going to fall into an abyss, but that it's, like you said, I think they'll eventually slowly drift more towards the experience. Come to E3 to experience, this.
Be a great place to set up those VR booths we were talking about.
Yeah. And I think video game publishers, developers, and hardware manufacturers are still going to go there and show stuff, but I think as we move forward, it becomes less relevant because there are cheaper, better ways to get the word out on whatever you're working on. But that's.
We'll tune in next year, and we'll tune in the year after that, and we'll keep biting those worms as long as they keep dangling in front of our faces.
Well, we have to review them until we quit.
I quit.
We should totally do. We should totally start doing a video series where we go back and watch E3s and start like in the 80s or the 90s, and we do a reaction to this. I don't know what this Atari is doing, man.
Dressing period clothes.
Dressing period clothes. Man, this Atari, it's just, I don't think they're going to make it.
And on that tangent, you guys, I want to say thanks for watching. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. Any comments that you want to send us, go ahead and put them down there below this video, right down here. Questions, send them to @TubeAtJesus on Twitter. As always, we